Let's take a listen.
No government shutdown. Democrats have said from the start that the only solution for avoiding a shutdown is bipartisanship. And we're glad that Speaker McCarthy has finally heeded our message. In the end, more Democrats supported this bill in the House than Republicans, proving bipartisanship was the best answer all along.
Jamal Bowman, who represents much of the Bronx in Westchester County, is under investigation for pulling a fire alarm before the House voted on the funding bill earlier this evening. A camera captured Bowman pulling the alarm.
So what do you guys think about that? Let the WWE-ness of our government begin. So this fool, the representative of the Bronx, Jamal Bowman, pulls a fire alarm that clearly says fire in bold white letters. You don't see it in the shot there, but there is another one and you can see it clearly. It's your typical fire panel alarm. This man was a school principal in the past. He knows not to pull a fire alarm, and he absolutely knows that doing it in government is a freaking felony. Are they going to charge him? And then his excuse is even more moronic. So you understand what I'm saying. Are they inept? No, they're not. This is intentional. I didn't realize I was running late for a meeting, and I pulled it so that it can open the door. There, look at the doors. They have the push bar on the door. There is no way, unless that door was purposefully locked, right? There's no reason he couldn't have just pushed the push bar. But no. He opted for the alarm because we all know that fire alarms unlock all doors. There are fire safety mechanisms that do that, actually, but still, that is not the reason that he did it. We all know why he did it.
Our bipartisanship made this possible and showed the House that they had to act. We will keep the government open for 45 days with a clean CR at current funding levels. And we avoided all of the extreme, nasty, and harmful cuts MAGA Republicans wanted.
So you heard that. No cuts to spending. They're just going to keep it the same. And what are these nasty MAGA Republican bills, these nasty wants that they asked for? Well, let's see. Let's find out. All right. Among the demands from the House Freedom Caucus, spending levels below the top line numbers that McCarthy had agreed to with President Joe Biden as part of a bill to increase the nation's debt ceiling. So they wanted to lower that. They wanted it below that line. That was axed. What else you might say? What other dangerous MAGA? Let's go. Let's see. Inclusion of a bill that aims to build more wall at the southern border and restrict asylum for those seeking to remain in the U.S. for fear of persecution or harm. Doesn't sound bad to me, right? Isn't this Isn't this an issue that they're trying to resolve? Correct? You hear Greg Abbott constantly complaining about it, as is now Kathy Hochul here in New York. This is a real issue. Aren't they trying to resolve it? Apparently not. That was also removed, and that's a very dangerous MAGA extremist want. Okay, let's continue. Addressing what they call unprecedented weaponization of the Justice Department and the FBI to conduct political witch hunts. Well, I mean, we know that's happening. Look, you don't believe me, take his word for it.
What they've done is they've gone after opponents so that if you become president or some other job, but if you become president and you don't like somebody, or if somebody's beating you by 10, 15, or 20 points like we're doing with crooked Joe Biden, let's indict the motherfucker. Let's indict him.
And opposing any blank check for Ukraine, the White House has asked Congress to provide more than $13 billion in emergency defense aid and an additional $8 billion for humanitarian support as Ukraine defends itself from Russia's invasion. So there you go. Now that one, that's the one they want, right? Republicans and Democrats alike, with the exception of the Freedom Caucus here. Okay? That is the one they want. You don't believe me? Chucky Chuck is going to tell you right now.
After trying to take our government hostage, MAGA Republicans won nothing. So one more time, it is good Speaker McCarthy finally heeded our message that bipartisanship was and is and remains the only way.
The coalition that really runs this country is the uniparty. It is the Biden, McCarthy, Jeffries government.
He could have made this decision weeks ago.
In case you didn't know, I agree with Mr. Gates. Just thought you should know.
Now, I've said from day one, this is a bridge CR, a temporary solution, not the final destination. We will not stop fighting for more economic and security assistance for Ukraine.
Bingo, bango! We will not stop fighting. Don't we have our own... I am just tired of even saying it, as I am sure that you are tired of hearing it. We have our own problems. But again, remember, this is done by design. There is no other explanation for this. It isn't ineptitude. It isn't they're overwhelmed. It isn't they attempted to look for true resolutions to these issues. No, they create the problem, they compound it, they pretend to desire to fix it. They do nothing except for what they really want. Their tyrannical bullshit. That's what they want. He's telling you.
Majorities in both parties support Ukraine aid. Today, MAGA extremists have failed, bipartisanship has prevailed, and both parties have come together to avert a shutdown.
So, you heard him. Both parties support funding the proxy war in Ukraine. And you don't think so? Let's show you. I'm going to show you what members of both parties, the tried and true members. Here we go. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, a New York Democrat, said he would put a supplemental spending bill for Ukraine on the floor as soon as next week. There you go, right? What about that wall, though? What about protecting our border? No, none of that. No, lowering the spending. What are we? What trillions in debt is our country? Anyway, who else? Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Kentucky Republican, said he expected the Senate would approve aid for Ukraine before the end of the year. So there you have it. Turtleneck Mitch, Dirty Chuck. There you go. Bipartisan, people, bipartisan. Unbelievable. It's laughable, really.
Today, I was rushing to make a vote. I came to a door that is usually open for votes, but today would not open. I'm embarrassed to admit that I activated the fire alarm, mistakenly thinking it would open the door. I regret this, sincerely apologize for any confusion this caused, but I want to be very clear, this was not me in any way trying to delay any vote.
No, of course not. There's a reasonable explanation for that. Of course it wasn't to delay a vote. AOC told us he was trapped in a vestibule. Oh my God, he was imprisoned in it.
But they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule.
All right, listen, okay, listen, okay, listen.
How'd he get in there, by the way? Oh, man, he was imprisoned in a... Shut up. It's unbelievable. That is just how ridiculously foolish they are and how stupid they believe that their constituents are. Okay? That is what that proves to me. That they tell us time and time again, this is how they feel about us. This is why they do what they do. It's fucking... Anyway.